I don't get this kind of treatment at the other meetups. Good evening, everybody. I'm a little bit of a traitor tonight. I'm not a Python coder. I'm not here to talk a little bit about Python, actually. I didn't even really want to present this, but my colleague Laura at the back is really lazy tonight. She's not in the mood, I'm afraid. So I'm here. I'm going to stop making jokes about R because I've been doing it for about 2 weeks straight to my company because I am an R coder and not a Python coder. So I promise I will spare you tonight because Laura told me I'm not allowed to sabotage it. That's it. You're in Brighton Py. Woo. So a little bit of housekeeping while we start. We are obviously live streaming the event tonight and Laura will be taking some pictures here and there. If you don't want to be in any of the photos because you're a little bit shy, please talk to us and we'll try our best to keep you out. Also, we have 2 lovely speakers tonight. Now, what speakers don't love is getting shouted at mid-talk. So please, 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 if you have any questions in mind, there will be question breaks. Please keep them in your head and then we'll be happy to hear them when we're there. Obviously, you've seen Laura. Her name's spelt wrong, but she was at the top. That was not me. It was not disrespect from me. She has been greeting you as you're coming in. Laura is a data scientist at Datacove, and then myself, who's the same. We're both data scientists here. If you have any photos as well that you take tonight, please do tag us on LinkedIn and Instagram, Twitter. We are everywhere. And also use the hashtag of Brighton Py so we can find you. So today's agenda, we're obviously having arrival, networking intros, what we're doing now. And then we've got Sylvia today, who is joining us from Indonesia. And we've got Dave as well, sat at the front. And then you'll hear a little bit more from me before you're allowed to escape and go to the pub. Usual things. So let me introduce ourselves. We are Datacove. We're a data and analytics consultancy in Brighton. We work across customer analytics. So who's your best customer? Where can we find more of them? Marketing analytics. So what's working best for your company? What isn't? How can you save money and do better? And process automation as well. Every business has something that's exceptionally boring and they want to get away from forever. And we automate that for you. But we also do other things as well. So we use Shiny, we use R, we use Python, we make lovely visualizations, and we do training too. On top of that, we are really big on our community. And Earl is our big shining conference that we run every year in Brighton. If you've not heard of Earl before, it's for R, Python, and general data science. And it is running the 14th to the 16th of October at the Hilton. We would obviously love to see all of our community who are here tonight at Earl as well. So please do scan the QR code, have a look at the website, learn more. There's also flyers at the back for you. And we've put together a discount code as well to give back to the community if you would all like to join. So what can you expect from Earl? Well, we have over 200 attendees per year. We have 45 speakers across 3 days, and we have 4 keynotes as well, and also workshops. So it's a very large event. We definitely don't get stressed when we're running this. So our keynote speakers this year, we have Eric Drass from Shardcore. We've got Rachel Keane, who was one of the original founders of Women in Data. And we've got Wes McKinney as well, which I'm sure all of you guys know who he is, but the creator of Pandas in Python for you nerds. So we've also got lovely workshops too. So we've got some for Quarto in R, making dynamic presentations. We've got Bayesian designs in R. We've also then got deploying AI in R, and then we've also got machine learning concepts in Python too. So we've got a big mix of different workshops. And right, our other communities. So you may know that we don't just run these in Brighton. That's why I'm typically not here, in fact, because I run the ones that are further up north typically. But we also run events in Manchester, Portsmouth, London, Bristol, and Brighton, and Birmingham, which is not on here. But these are the next events that we are doing. So if you ever find yourself in a different city and you're bored and you want to see more of us, please do come along because we'd love to see you. So I'm now just going to hand over to Rohan from Eagle Labs just to introduce you a little bit about the space.
Thanks, Abby. Hi, as Abby said, I am Rohan, so I'm the Eagle Labs lab manager here in Brighton. And for those that you don't know Eagle Labs, just to give you a little overview, we're a business incubator and co-working space. So co-working in this area here, but what differentiates us from other co-working spaces that we provide ancillary support for businesses to grow and scale. So that's anything from an idea. So if you've got an idea for a business, you want to kind of get it off the ground, we can help you to do that, all the way through to growing your business and exiting a business. So if you've kind of done really well and you want to kind of get sold the business, we can support you in that whole journey. So got lots and lots of different support for different areas of different sectors. And yeah, if you've got any questions or you want to find out more about what we do, there's a banner here, banner at the front, got QR codes, scan that, or come and speak to me and I'll be happy to tell you more about what we do. And then we love hosting events as well. So this is our event space, as you can see. And if you've got an idea for an event, or you know people that are looking for an event space and they need a home, then please do tell them and spread the word. And a little bit of housekeeping as well. We've got toilets just through this door, down the stairs to the left, accessible toilet through this door here. And in case of a fire alarm, I think we just got an access, a meeting point just outside the Joker pub. But other than that, enjoy this evening, and yeah, come and see me if you've got any questions. I'll hand it back over to Abby.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate the space always in Eagle Labs, so 100% please do check it out. And a swift transition over to Cam, who's going to talk a little bit about Silicon Brighton.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My name's Cameron. I work for Silicon Brighton. And as Abby was talking about feeling the stress before a conference, we've got ours next week, next Friday on the 4th of July at the Dome. We're really looking forward to it. Yep, there's a good woo. Loads of people already in the room, I can see, actually have stands or as speakers at this event as well. So it's going to be a fantastic day. We've also teamed up with Brighton Py to give a discount, which is a half price ticket off of the general price of £40, £12 for students. So you're looking at 20 quid a ticket if you're general, and then £6 a ticket for students. Not only are we offering cheaper tickets, half of the ticket price will go straight back to Brighton Py, which will go into things like pizza, which I think is very popular as it's all gone, apart from maybe 1 or 2 slices. So yeah, I forgot to actually introduce what Silicon Brighton is. It is a community of communities in Brighton and Hove for digital tech. We're incredibly proud of that. The accessibility of events, that they're all free to come to. They're all great people. Everyone comes along and it's just a fantastic, friendly environment. So Evolve is going to be that and more. And we're really looking forward to this first year. So come and see what we make of it. Speaking of those meetups and communities that support, we've got loads of different ones, not just Brighton Py. I can see Breaking Breadboards, they've got a brand new spanking logo as well. If you're into hardware, they've got a small corner at Evolve as well, so that'd be brilliant. They've just been sending me shed loads of things they've all been 3D printing, and I think John has an R2-D2 unit that he's 3D printed and built that he is debuting at Evolve. There was a sneak peek at one of our meetups, so that's all live streamed as well, so available there. Check that out. We want to say a huge thanks to our supporters. Without them, we couldn't do what we do, which is paying for live streaming or giving us free venue space. So thank you to Eagle Labs as well. Huge thanks to James Chase specifically, who are one of our 3 main sponsors, as well as Plus Accounting and also More Law. Oh, and there's a 4th one apparently in... Oh, the dyslexic can't read that. Illiterity? Let's go with that. But yeah, thank you to all of our sponsors who help us. We've got the best one. There's a link tree to many different links, but the most important one here is our Slack channel, where you can join in a conversation after events and during, and then ask any questions to the community or even start your own in these channels. So yeah, we are so open to starting new ventures. So just get in touch with me or a member of the team and we will support you in the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Cam. So tonight, our first speaker is Sylvia, who's very kindly joining us from Indonesia, and it's currently 2:30 there in the morning. So if we could give a very warm welcome and a lot of gratitude, I'm sure she'd appreciate it. So Cam, please take us away.
Hello, everyone.
So we got her on audio. Just going to get that on the screen with us. That's not what you want to say. Sorry, everyone. This is my mess. Oh, no. Cool. We'll ignore this for a moment and I'll fix it. And yeah, sorry about that. Cool. Hey, Sylvia, you are on the screen with us. Could you share your presentation? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Cool. Let's have a look. Cool. We've got that. And then to start it off, if I could get the room for a round of applause again, please. Thank you very much, Sylvia. I'll remove myself from the call and let you take it away.
Thank you, Cameron. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Yes, I am Sylvia and I'm from Indonesia. Yes, here it's in the midnight actually, but I'm so excited to be here with you guys. And today I will talk about a Python project with bots across the multiple chat platforms. Okay, let me start. Yeah, my name is Sylvia Larasatwa Masito, and you can call me Sylvia or Sylvie. And I'm actually an AI enthusiast and technology enthusiast, and I love to learning about technology. And these are my experiences. Currently, I'm a software engineer in GoGo. It's a startup from Japan, and I started working there since 2024. And also, around maybe it's about 2 or 3 years ago, I was an internship as AI vision developer in media robotics. And currently, I am as a core committee in Py District Jakarta. It's one city in Indonesia. It's also a beautiful city and a tourism city in Indonesia, beside Bali. If you maybe ever hear about Bali, Yogyakarta is also popular in Indonesia. Okay, let's get started. So today, oh sorry. Yeah. Firstly, what projects can Python do? Actually, Python, we can create everything with Python, like web app, game, artificial intelligence, data science, game. Oh, I mistype here. Robotics and also IoT, data analytics, etc. There are so many things that we can do with Python. So, what is bot? Yeah, in today's topic is we will use bot, integrate bot with Python. And what is actually bot? A bot is a software program that automatically performs tasks often through chat platforms. And it can be an automation for us to help repetitive tasks to easily and simplify our many tasks and create an automated automation with it. And there are several popular chat platforms here. Yeah, I usually use Slack in my working place, and also there are Kakao Talk, Discord, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp. WhatsApp is popular chat in Indonesia, and lastly Telegram. It's not only these apps, but also there are many other apps that you may usually use it in your own country. So, and for today, we will use only three. I will focus on three chat platforms and how we can integrate it with Python code or your own Python project. And there are, okay, these are the chat platform that I will focus on. So actually in my description in the post of this event, it said that I will talk about WhatsApp, but actually if I want to use WhatsApp but API, it need to be verified as a business owner. So it's kind of hard for me to explain it to you today. And as an alternative, I will use Telegram, Slack, and Discord. Okay, so these are the link to get the API as a developer. First one, I will go to the dashboard, the Discord first. Okay, I have to close. This. Okay, that's good. So for Discord, you can just visit this link and you have to sign in first with your own account, Discord account, and then you can see this page. And to create a new to get the API, you have to create an application. You have to put the name. I will just write my bot. Okay, then you can continue and follow the flow. Okay, you can see this. You can see here, this is the name of your app, and you also can add description here and tag. Also, you can get the application ID, public key, and etc. And if you want to get the bot token to integrate it with your Python project, you can go to bot tab here and you can click the reset token and you will get the token key or token ID. Yeah. Okay. Yes, finally you can get it and you can copy it to put it in your environment variable. Also, you can add these permissions what can you do with your bot, like send a message, create public threads, private threads, etc. So here I will choose send message and read message history. So use slash command and manage channels, manage roles. Yeah, I think that's all I need. Oh, this one too. If you want to add voice permission, you also can just choose it. You can choose all two or any permission that you want to add. Just click it and you will get this. This will be generated based on what permission that you choose. Okay, so to configure with your own bot, you have to add this to a link to be authorized with it. So, well, I have to copy it. 1 second. Okay, so this is the link that you should change the permissions here with your own permissions integer and also with your client ID. This is the client ID. You can find it in OAuth tab and click copy and you can paste it here. Then you can go back to bot to get the integer. Okay, I have to click it again. Okay, here I can just copy it and paste it here. Okay, well, now we have the full link here, and we can just access it to authorize our bot with those permissions. Okay, here I have added a server here. Could be anything, it's just my own server for myself. And you have to confirm is this all that you want to allow for the permission, then click authorize. Okay, success, and now you can use your own bot. You can see your bot in your Discord, in your web Discord, or in your Discord app. Okay, this may take a few minutes. Okay, please wait a moment. Yeah, here I can mention, yes, my bot is already added to this server. Okay, now let me go back to this, and okay, I will back to my slides. The next one is get API from Slackforce. Okay, so here if you want to get the bot token, you can create a new app first, and you can choose from a manifest or from Sketch. I will choose the second one and add the name of the app. Then I have to select the workspace and create it. Okay, here you can get several information like app ID, client secret, etc. And to get the token ID for your bot integration, you can go to OAuth and permission tab, and you have to add some scope here. It's still loading. Okay, this one you can add a scope. I will add two scope. First one is chat, so you can share chat to as my bot to a channel, or this is for send a chat to a channel, and this one for sending a chat to specific person. Also, if you want to add more like read or write, this you can just edit. Okay, if you already add all the scopes that you want and or need, now you can go scroll up and click install to the worksheet. Okay, you have to wait a moment until you can click the allow button. Okay, now you get the token here that you can copy it and put it in your project. And now we have two tokens from different chat platforms. And now we can continue to get the API from Telegram. Firstly, to get the API token, you can get it from this one. If you can see this. Oh, sorry. Let me share my screen again. Okay. This one. You can search both further in your Telegram app, and you can just click start to create your own bot. You will receive this message. If you want to create your own bot, you can just click new bot, or if you already have your bot, you can edit it. Okay, I will start with creating a new bot, and I will use the name of, okay, let's just continue as what it said in the chat. Okay. But still on. Sorry, I make a mistake in writing it. It's already taken. Okay. We'll use the same name then. Okay, well, this will be take a moment, so I will share my previous bot. Okay, so this is when the first time I created a bot in Telegram. It's called Smart Drawer Bot, because I created an IoT tool using Raspberry and add AI to it, so I can detect some stuff inside the drawer. Yeah, after you write down the username of your bot, then you can have the API here, and finally you can edit your own bot. So firstly, you don't have this bot. This will be empty, and you can just edit the name, edit about description picture, and this edit comments you can add several comments that you want the user use, and those comments will connect to your own project. And this is I update the description of my bot, then I update the comment here. So to add the comments, you have to define the name of that comment and then the description of it. Also, you can add several comments here, and here I create 3 different comments. This one, start stationary, and open drawer. And finally, it's done. Yeah, that's all what you have to do, because you already get the API there. But it's not only that, because you also need a hash, Telegram bot hash. And to get that hash, you have to visit. Wait, I will share my screen again. Okay. Yeah. To get the hash value, you can visit this link, and I already opened it, and you can continue with your phone number. Yeah, please wait a moment. Okay, let me share my screen again. Yeah, after you log in, you have to fill all the field. Like this is, I will use the same name. Okay, I will maybe other, because this is not listed here. It's like, okay, and now you can create the app. Here you have all the data that you need. This is the API hash that you can just copy it into your project. Okay, and yeah, that's all. Now we have all these key that we need to integrate to our project. And now let me go to the code. Yeah, here. Yeah, I already defined several env variable here. Actually, not all variable. Okay. Yes. Yes. All we need is the bot API ID from Telegram, API hash from Telegram, and API token from Telegram, then Discord bot token and Slack bot token. Yeah. I already have all of them, and I have put it in my .env. And now I will go to the code to connect it. Okay, so this is for Discord bot integration. And there is a Discord library here that you can use with Python, and you have to specify the intent here, and also define the call this syntax. as a client, and then this is just a variable to that we will use it to our bot. And this is to log in to the Discord bot, and these are the comments that we use. You can specify it based on what you want. Here I have 4 comments: start, detect, region, and help comment. And for the first one, start, you can add several, maybe you can add function here or variable, etc. And you can add the text that you want to share to user after they send the comment text. Like for example, if the user send start, then the bot will send this message. And if they call detect, they send detect, and this will call this syntaxes. And also region and help command. Usually help command is really needed because it can help user what they can call to the bot, what they can ask to the bot, like this one. And this is for Discord. Yes, and finally you have to run the client here, so it can be connected and in the Discord. And yeah, this all for Discord integration. And next one is Slack. So it's almost same for defining the comments. And for Slack itself, you can add this pilot data to connect with the Slack bot, and also to get the text that user send from the Slack. You have to define it here, and then if that message similar to this conditional, it will respond with this one, with this response message from the bot. Also all other comments too. And after you define all these comments, you have to run this RTM client that has Slack bot token, and also call this, and finally call start. Yeah, this is how you set up. Sorry. Sorry, I have problem here with. Okay, yeah, it's done. Yeah, this is for Slack integration, Slack bot integration. If you want to call the another function, you can just edit here and get the value or return value from that function. And lastly is Telegram. What Telegram? Yeah, so actually there is differences between Slack, Discord, and Telegram for the comments. For Telegram, you have to add slash before the comments to receive the response from the bot. And for Slack, because Slack can receive the message and can detect the message from user, and you can just use this text. And for Discord, you have to add this sign. Yeah, that's all the differences between those three chat platforms. And this is how you connect to Telegram bot. So actually there are several library for Telegram bot, and I use Telethon, one of them. And actually there are also Telegram bot library if I'm not mistaken. But I only can successfully run it with Telethon. And if you use Telethon, you have to call Telegram client to connect it with the API ID and API hash and the token too. And to create the comments, it's almost same with Discord actually. Yeah, almost same, but it's still different. Yes, there are 4 comments, and you also have to add this pattern so the bot can recognize what user want. Yeah, add your pattern here, and it will call this function. It will respond with this sentence. And also, if you call the tag, you can add a function here or some function here, and you can send this message to the user. Also, another one region and help too. I always add help comments to all bots because it really will help the user to understand the comments that I use in my code. And lastly, you have to add this syntax to run it until it disconnected, and add this to start the bot. Yeah, that's all the integration to the bot with Python. And to call all of them, you can define all three configuration to the main. So you can call all of them, and you can use all 3 bots with only one file, one main file. Yeah. Well, I have to fix several things here. Actually, I got an error before this meeting, before this event. So I can run it now, and also it takes moments because I have to load the model here. This is my my previous project when I am still an intern in maybe around 2 years ago, as when I still an intern. It's play detection, which I can detect the license plate and get the number of the license plate, and recognize which this vehicle coming from. So there is the initial or the letter here in front of the number that it can represent the name of a city or region in Indonesia. It is the license plate from Indonesia. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all from my talk. If you have any questions about bots integration, please ask me. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Sylvia. That was really, really helpful. We're just going to take a couple of questions from the audience. Are there any questions that anybody would like to ask?
Hello, thank you for your great presentation. Is the code which you showed would be available somewhere publicly on the GitHub or wherever?
Yes, of course. I will post it in my GitHub, and I will send it to maybe for Laura or Cameron. And yeah, uh, I need your help to share it with other attendees.
Thank you very much. Does anyone else have any other questions? Awesome. Well, thank you very much. If we could please have another massive round of applause for Sylvia.
Thank you so much.
So everything is also available online. So if you want to go back and revisit any moments of the talk, or you want to copy any bits of code, then please do feel free to visit it on our YouTube channel at Datacove, and also probably on the Silicon Brighton one, I imagine. Lovely. Awesome. Well, we're going to just take a quick 10-minute comfort break. So please help yourself to drinks, any extra food. I believe there may be something tasty coming. Is there? Watermelon. We'll be back in 10 minutes after the tech change. Thank you all very much. Good evening, everybody. Are we ready to rejoin? Please take a seat when you are ready. Please, can you take a seat when you are ready? Thank you. Well, moving on to our second talk of the night, we're very excited to hear a little bit more about Python packages in Rust. You're laughing as if no one's ever said that they're excited before. Is that new? Well, I will let Dave introduce himself then. So, if we could please have a big welcoming for Dave tonight.
No, that's okay. Hi there. Right. Yes. So here we go. Let's just make sure we can get this to move the way we want. No, maybe not. No, that's not quite. I'm just looking for the next one up and down. Ah, that's it. There we go. Yes, different keyboard, different machine. So sorry about that. Right. Can't actually work computers, but other than that, hey ho. Right. Anyway, so yes, I'm David Bottrell. I am a consultant, as in a freelancer. So yeah, there's always the good excuse for like, I haven't got a job, which is not actually true. No, I do. Sadly, I know it sounds a bit weird, but I've got a bit too much work at the moment. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, so we're talking about the goals for the talk. The goals for the talk are to basically provide general overview, technology and terminology. I will also say very, very quickly, little confession here. There's almost no code in here. So I'm really sorry if people coming here thinking, oh, great, I'm going to learn, all this really cool new Rust and Python and everything else. And it's like, no, because I think the problem is if I was going to do that, that'd be great. But I'd also be here for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours talking. And I think everyone would just lose the will to live if that happened. So we won't do that. We won't do that. So yeah, as we're saying, what is a Python extension? The differences between Python and Rust. What is a package in Python and Rust? And what's a cargo crate? What's a pip package? Virtual environments. Sounds very whizzy. When you actually look at it under the hood, really not very whizzy, but hey-ho. And then just talking about different data types, because Rust and Python is very interesting. Writing a piece of code that's going to work seamlessly, you hope, in Python, and you think, wow, it looks like Python code, and it really isn't Python code. So yeah, data types are one of the big things, along with a lot of other big things, which are different between Rust and Python. And then finally, the little bit, there's actually a bit of code in there. Well, it's command line typing stuff in the CLI, but close enough. Right, so what is a Python extension? Python extensions are simply, you are able to use a piece of functionality, a library, that's actually written in a different language. So you're happily, which is pretty much, anyone uses pandas, pretty much UV, any other of these really cool pieces of functionality we use, and we can just import and use, and you think, it's Python. No, it's not Python, it's a completely different language. But through the wonders of Python extensions, it looks and feels, hopefully, like just good old plain old Python. So yeah, here we are. And why use other languages? Well, I quite like Python. Hell, I love Python. That's why I'm a Pythonista. But got to say, performance. Oh, it's like, yeah, we're not ever going to be going ray for Python performance, are we really? Not if you for a lot of things when you're doing it, you don't really need the performance. Great. And if you do need the performance, ooh, okay, that's when you start looking at it and going, okay, maybe we'll go for Rust. What are the other languages you can do? Everyone does a lot of stuff in C, which is great, but as I sort of say a little bit later, it's not actually type safe. You know, it has a little bit of a naughty habit of going, oh, you know, I allocated some memory. You don't really want me to deallocate that though, do you? You know, you forget to do it and it just sits there and leaks memory. So, you know, if you have something that runs for any amount of time, it just sits there, just chewing away more and more memory. You're thinking, why is my 50K program suddenly taking 5 megabytes? That's why, because, you know, it has got a slightly unfortunate memory leak. This is not a problem with either Python, thankfully, or Rust, because there's a thing called the borrow checker. I'm going to ask a quick question. Has anybody here written anything in Rust before or done any Rust? And I know the one person over there, because we were talking about earlier. So we got, oh yes, so not many people here. So yeah, one you know, obvious point to make is if you're hoping to write extensions in Rust, you kind of have got to learn Rust, which is a bit of a, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but you know, hey, because you know, we're Pythonistas, we love writing Python. But the good thing is you talk to any Rust developers and they'll say, yeah, they love Rust as well, because it's a lovely language. It's a little bit of a hard taskmaster. It's got a bit of a steep learning curve, but once you get going, amazing. So we're saying performance, memory safety, low-level access. Another obvious thing, you know, hey, you know, you've got your cool thing and you're there trying to do a device driver, anything like that, anything low level, really low level. Yeah, you can kind of do stuff with that. You can use things like MicroPython. I have actually looked into that a little bit and it was like, okay, that's kind of cool, but yeah, Rust is designed to write operating systems. You know, that's where, you know, it's been designed to work, and it works very well there. So yeah, that's why I would say if you're thinking about doing some form of device driver, Rust is your thing. And if you really need to talk to that device driver or device, great, you know, use, you know, Maturin and the Py03 crate, and that will let you do it for you, which is really cool. Anyway, here we go. quick thing. The code. Here we go. This is the code. Import, and I've clearly been channeling a bit of Java here because this has got to be the silliest thing for a package. Test Rust extension for Python. Okay, whatever. Right. So, differences between Python and Rust, part 1. Yeah, don't worry, there's only 2 parts, so it's not too bad. Okay, so the differences are obviously one's interpreted, one's compiled. You're there thinking, is there much difference between the two? Yes, yeah, performance is, again, that obvious thing, but also, again, learning curve. Because one of the nice things is they always say that you can learn Python in a weekend. You won't be proficient at it, but you can learn it in a weekend. I've been learning Rust now for about 5 years, and yeah, I have my good days and I have my rest of the other days. It's like, yeah, it's like a lot of things. It's an iceberg. There's a lot out there, but stuff underneath, yeah, that's even more so. So, yeah, one's interpreted, aka Python, and the other one's builds a binary, which is designed to use with your CPU, your operating system. You're like, great. Again, that's how you get the blazingly fast performance, because it's sat there using the language the actual machine uses. So yeah, good stuff. Statically typed versus dynamically typed. Rust is one of those languages that makes you put your actual, you know, what type do you want? What size of variable do you want? So you're like thinking, well, what size do I want? You know, how do I know what it's going to be, what size it's going to be in, you know, 6 months' time? You know, you've done some other changes to your code, and all of a sudden you find that, yeah, your 16-bit variable is suddenly getting going to try and overflow. So you think, oh, okay. So yeah, it's one of those things where there's a bit of an art to it. Plus also, it has to be said, although I say Rust is statically typed, it does occasionally kind of look like it might be dynamically typed, because sometimes you'll see it where it's just got a variable name and just an equals, and you think, oh wow, so there are some times when you can it's doing dynamically, and it's not, it's just looking at it and seeing it an implication. You know, you're putting a number into an integer, it goes, oh okay, that's an integer, and it figures it out for you, which is very nice. But it can be a little bit surprising for beginners when you're looking at it and thinking, but I thought it was statically typed. But anyway, so we have then got also data hiding and encapsulation. That is, again, unfortunately, one of the things that I would say that Python is not great at. Hiding data. No, it just can't hide data. I've got a number of things here. The underscore character. If you see something with an underscore, a variable in Python. No, there are no variables in Python. They're all just objects. Everything's an object in Python. But the point is, underscore. Does everyone kind of know what it means if there's an underscore in front of an object? Yay? Yes? Okay, a couple. So yeah. So unfortunately, case in point, that means please don't use this, please don't touch this, please don't modify this, or please don't expect it to be there in the next version of this package that you're using or this library, because it's not. It's for our internal use, and we might take it away tomorrow. And if your piece of code relies on this underscore piece of, code, you're like, oh, yeah, well, that was why you didn't. It had an underscore in front of it, but it does catch out, newbies and occasionally not so newbies. So yeah, data hiding just doesn't really happen, unfortunately. But you can do something called name mangling, but it's, yeah, again, it's still a bit kludgy and a bit hacky. Rust, on the other hand, enables visibility. But it also, what it does is it actually says it provides visibility and then makes everything private. So you have to tell it things have to be public. If you don't, it just assumes, right, it's private, which you just can't do in Python. So yeah, that's got to change when you start using it. Right, part 2. Don't worry, there's only 2 parts to this because it's a bit, yeah, whatever. Right, so Python provides exceptions that are object-oriented. Obviously, Python's an object-oriented language. Rust isn't object-oriented, which, you're there thinking, hold on, I can write extensions in Rust, and I can create classes, it looks like, but actually it's Py03 actually doing some cleverness. It pretends that you're having a class. You can create classes, but it's not actually a class. When you look at the Rust code, it's like, no, it's not a class. It's not a class at all. But hey, so you've then also got monads in Rust, and you're thinking, a monad, wow, that's, yeah. I've looked at monads many times and thought, yeah, because it's got 2 different states. You're thinking, okay, that's different. But again, it's very efficient, very fast, and it does work, but it does also involve a bit more effort on our part. So differences between modules. Python module's great. It's a file. You talk to sort of beginner programmers. You say, so, and they say, so what's a Python module? You say, it's a file. It's just a file. Okay, so don't worry about it. That's the annoying thing when you see these documentation saying, in this module, or use a module to do this. Thinking, newbies are going, well, what's a module? I mean, it's a file. So yeah, Rust will do that. And then it also lets you have more than one module in a file. And it will actually got, I think, 5 different ways of making modules. That's one of the things I'd say, the difference between Rust and Python, if you're looking for a very quick way of describing it, I would always say Python is a Swiss Army knife. It's got a little bit of everything. It can do lots of things pretty well. Whereas Rust, scalpel. It's sharp. It does one thing really, really well, but you've got to know what you're doing with it. Otherwise, it ends badly. Anyway, what is a package? A package contains a module. Right, okay. Packages are modules, collections of modules in directories or folders, depending on what OS you're using. But again, you sort of see this where people will talk about modules, packages, and they use them intermediately, they intermingle the two, and you're thinking, okay, that's not very helpful again for people just starting out, because they're thinking, well, is it a package? Is it a module? As I said, yeah, they are inherently. It's just the real thing is the fact that you are using folders or directories in a package normally. So yeah, that's the difference. Right. What is a package in Rust? Similar to pip packages, but it can either be a library or an executable target. Rust uses crates instead of pip packages, so because its package manager is called cargo crates. That's quite clever. Okay, well, at least I thought it was clever. But yeah, so we got different ways. Everyone uses TOML files these days, so you notice the fact that Python now uses TOML files, and so does Rust. So yeah, can anyone remember what TOML actually stands for? Is it Tom's something markup? Tom's markup language, yeah. Hey ho. Right, pip packages. Pip package is just simply something that changes an awful lot. If people have been paying attention to how to make a pip package, it changes. Like, if you're lucky, every year, and I've been doing this for 10 years and it's changed every single year I've been doing this. So it's like, okay, they've now changed how you do a pip package. It's one of those things that isn't locked down in Python. So yeah, people like to change things, It's like, the staircase, they move. Yeah, it's the same. Pip packages, yeah, they move a lot. So you then have got, it's in Py, otherwise known as the cheese shop. And the tools you needed for it are constantly changing, as we're saying. So site packages. Everyone come across site packages? Yeah, it's where all your pip packages get put. And obviously, if you create a virtual environment, it has its own site packages. So those pip packages that you've got in your virtual environment, they're going in its very own little site packages. So, and also pip packages which are under development are just symlinks, which is very, very helpful sometimes if you're trying to do stuff and you've got your code there and you're just trying to change things and see the effect. If it's symlinked, yeah, there's no reinstalling a package again just to see what, you've changed one line of code. So you at least don't have to do that. I mentioned Python virtual environments. Yeah, they're just simply, all it does is it actually changes the path environment variable. That's all, in fact, virtual environments really do, other than, as I say, create your very own site packages folder directory. So yeah, it's very nice, the fact you can do this, and it makes it seamless for everyone, but that's all it's really doing at the end of the day. So different types and how they're handled. Memory management techniques. Python, garbage collected. Once you stop, nothing's looking at that particular object, it's gone. Well, it hasn't actually gone, but it's going. As soon as you stop referencing, everything stops referencing an object, the garbage collector looks at it and goes, "Oh, you're mine now. You know, that's it." But you reference it again. Oh, okay, maybe you're not gone yet, and it'll carry on going. Rust does something a bit different. It uses the thing called the borrow checker, and it looks at it, and it just basically says, as soon as an object goes out of scope, it says, "That's it, gone." You know, that's why you've got to make sure sometimes with Rust, you've got to make sure that you have made the borrow checker understand how long you want an object to last or variable to last, because once it goes out of scope, it's gone. There is no more. So we jump backwards. Don't do that. So yeah. Okay. So getting started with Rust extensions. Did we do that? Yes. No, that's cool. Part 1 and part 2 were catching me out there. It's my own talk. Oh dear. Anyway, Maturin. The Maturin package or pip package does a lot of this stuff for you. So you don't have to understand how to plumb all these things, which is wonderful. Having looked at the plumbing and just thought, that's too much for me. Yeah, Maturin does it for you. It's got a nice tooling on it. So yeah, it's a great thing to have a little look at. And then there's the Py03 crate, which Maturin uses. So you're like, okay. So obviously when you're actually developing Python extensions in Rust, you have got to have both Python on your machine and Rust, the Rust compiler, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to write much Rust. So yeah, little thing. So here we go. Creating a virtual environment. Yeah, I think most people know how to make a virtual environment, how to engage one using source. Then you just do pip install Maturin. Okay, all good stuff. So then you create your directory, because you do have to be a little bit careful sometimes. If you don't create a directory for this, it will just like suddenly spring a whole bunch of files into your current directory, which is like, might not be what you wanted. So yeah, it's quite a good idea to make this new directory folder and then obviously jump into it, change directory, and then run Maturin init. It runs, it's good. And then you can just do Maturin develop. And that will then actually sort out all of the building and installing for you. And that's it, you've got it. So thank you much for your time.
Thank you very much, Dave. Does anybody have any questions in the audience? Oh my word, none. Oh, right at the back as well, typical. I'm on my way.
So when you make your deliverable out the other end of this is a Python package that you can pip install and then import in Python. Yeah, it gives you the package, etc., etc.
Created, so you've actually got it there, and it's all symlinked up. So if you actually look at it and you do pip, I can't remember, I think it's a pip freeze.
Pip freeze will show you.
Yeah, and it will show you sort of like it's got a little bit of extra stuff
when
there,
you've done it in development mode.
Yes,
yeah, in editable mode.
So therefore you can do that, and yeah, and that's what it does. It does it all for you, which makes you a bit lazy if you're not careful.
But the compiled component, or the component that you get that you can upload to PyPy, is then cross-platform as well. So presumably compiled at the user end, and they need a Rust compiler at their end.
Yeah, that's why they have a Python, both Python and Rust, because obviously it then understands
compiles in their platform.
Compiles to their platform.
Cool.
Yeah.
So when you run Maturin in it, it will also build some GitHub actions for you. So if you push it to GitHub, it will do it'll cross compile for a range of different platforms, and it'll build wheels for you. And it actually has a setting as well, so it will also deploy it to PyPy for you as well.
Mm.
So all you have to do is install one of the wheels that it's built, and it builds it for like every platform imaginable.
Also, Maturin is quite clever. That's one of the reasons why you have to select when you actually fire up Maturin, you do Maturin in it. It then gives you an option. Do you want to use Py03 or some of the other bindings that you can do for writing C extensions? So you can actually write a C extension if you really want to. But obviously, we're trying to move away from C if we can, because I don't like, I like memory safety, but maybe I'm old-fashioned. Anyway, cool.
Thank you very much. Does anyone else have any other questions that you'd like to ask? Awesome. Well, if we can please give a massive round of applause to Dave then, please. Thank you. Does anybody in the community have any announcements that they would like to make tonight? Okay, well, I've got one, so I'm going to go. Recently at Datacove, we've started a new series. I say we, but actually it's one very intelligent, bright star standing right at the back. So if you're new to Python or you'd like to actually learn a little more, Laura's been doing free YouTube series on getting to know powerful Python. So please do visit our channel. It's also across LinkedIn and other things, and you can learn a little bit more on there. What's the next episode, Laura? Sorry. Yeah, you're going to have to speak in here. You're back.
It's a little bit specific. It's not just all of Python, but it's an honor of having Wes McKinney, the maker of Pandas, joining us as our keynote speaker at Earl, which I know you're going to talk about in a second. So I'm deciding to do like what is Pandas? So it's a 12-part series, just about 5-10 minutes long. I'm trying to keep it really snappy, and I just introduce it from the beginning, and I'm going to go right through kind of little things in Pandas. So it's on YouTube. Check it out. It's called Pretty Powerful Pandas. Yeah.
Thank you. What a lovely cameo. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause for Laura. Well, we are here as well for the rest of the year. So if you are actually very upset by the fact that I'm here and presenting, I'll be gone when we're back in October, and you'll have Laura back again. So please do join us on October the 23rd. And then we've got a mashup in November on the 20th. So actually you might see me again, because R and Pi are doing a big collaboration event. It's going to be a lot of pizza and a lot of drinks. So I'm just going to do a really quick wrap up. If obviously you are interested in learning a little bit more about Python, sorry for the people taking pictures, let me move out the way, then please do get in contact with us. We have very accessible training courses in R, Python, and general data science things as well. We also do bespoke offerings. So if your company or yourself just want something specific, please do ask, because we're very accommodating. So I just want to say a massive thank you all for attending and for putting up with me tonight. If you would like to make your way to the Joker Pub across the road, please do not wait for us to pack up. We are just doing boring things. And then we hope you have a lovely rest of your evening, and we'll see you again in October. If there's anything else you'd like from us in the meantime, please scan the QR code that's left on the board. If you were interested in Earl, there's actually something very interesting coming soon. Something to do with free tickets. So if you follow us on LinkedIn, you'll hear about it in the next month or so. So please do scan the QR code, and thank you very much again for tonight all.